something. And did you know that gambling was one of the most common vices, particularly in Chinese culture? And that is why we have to discuss that today. Why? Why do Chinese love gambling? And for all of those who know somebody who loves gambled, you know how dangerous it is and why. Let's talk into that. Now, let me introduce our two lady guests here today who are both social workers and gambling counselors. I didn't even know they had that. That's fantastic. At the Characters Addicted Gamblers Counseling Center. Welcome, Jenny Wan and Ruby Chiu.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
How long has this counseling center been around? What's the history of that?
Well, our center established in 2003 because this is the same year that the government legalized football betting.
Oh.
So the government agreed to pay us to set up 4 major counseling centers.
Huh. You mean it wasn't legalized till 2003?
Mainly
Really?
football betting at that time.
Right. But gambling has always been a part of our Hong Kong lifestyle, yes?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
how long has horse racing been around? How long? Do you know the history
Wow,
of that?
horse racing.
Like more than a couple of decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But even before that, gambling like mahjong has
Yeah.
always been in Chinese culture, yes? And they play for money,
Yes,
mostly.
mostly they start very early to have gambling, like in mahjong, playing cards with family members, even
Yes.
with their parents. So I think, it's a kind of cultural thing in
Yeah,
Hong Kong.
and parents don't say it's a bad thing, like it's illegal, so it's not discouraged. So everyone grows up saying, okay, well, let's just play a little money and gamble.
Yeah. They just think it's like a kind of leisure, have fun and entertainment. So it's not the harm thing.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So-
But somehow, if you continue to having to gamble, and then it becomes most important thing in your life, then people are too preoccupied by gamble and even loss of control. So it is I think the most harmful thing in gambling addiction.
Is there a number? Is there some statistics on how many gamblers are affected in Hong Kong?
That's about 3.3% of problem gambler and also pathological gambler, because there is a research being done in 2011 by the university, by Polytechnic University, and the number of pathological gambler actually decreasing, but the number of youth gambler is increasing. So it's quite alarming, and we need to do more education.
Yes.
Especially for youth gambler.
How do you distinguish youth gamblers and pathological then? How do you define the difference?
Mainly of their age. So for the youth gambler, it's between, I say, about 13 up to 18 years old.
Okay.
And compare with the general adult of 18 up to 64.
Okay, all right. And is there a source, like a stem or certain obvious reasons why people would end up becoming addictive gamblers, other than the fact that maybe they grew up with it with their families? What are some other reasons that cause people to go and gamble?
Yeah, because now it's like legal and for the football gambling and as well as Macau, the casino,
Yes.
and it's closed. It's like 1 hour ferry, so it's easy to reach, and I mean it's accessible.
Yes, it's too
easy.
accessible.
And it's because of winning money. Yeah,
It's
and
the drive of
yes, it's a
getting
main
wealth.
drive because they get the heat feeling, the
Yes.
high feeling of winning money. So somehow after all this winning, and then they start to losing money because they keep on gambling.
Yes.
And then they become very depressed and would like to chase back what they lose. And
Most people do that though. When they lose, they think they're not going to cut their losses short. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to try one more time
Yeah.
to win back my money,
and they
right?
think they're gonna to win.
Yes.
Yeah, they're always thinking miracle is coming and I'm going to win back all I've lost. So that has happened.
Yeah. Do you have any specific examples of some cases you've seen, some stories that tell us how dangerous gambling really is?
Sure. As we talked about that before, there are some contributing factors to become a pathological gambler. So one of them could be escape the problems, especially for women gambler. We have a term called empty nest syndrome. Basically, what we're talking about is like housewife. They have children grow up finish education and they have spare time,
Yes.
spare money.
Feeling very lonely.
Exactly. And they have nothing to do. Most likely they don't have a satisfaction in the marriage.
Yes.
So they will go out with their friends, go to mahjong house, go to casino. And also they are really good at marketing because they offer free ferry tickets,
Yes.
or even free hotel
Yes.
stay in a 5-star hotel. So it's really tempting for them to go to Macau.
Yeah.
And I have quite a few cases, like mainly female gamblers, and they, because of some of their friends invite them to go there for the free hotel stay.
Yes.
And then they have the first big win, and then they start the addictions.
Okay.
Just gradually, so it's like a progressive addictions of gambling.
So how do we know when someone is technically defined as addicted to gambling?
We can say like loss of control. They always think about it, always preoccupied, would like to go to gamble or think how to go to gamble. Because they go to gamble may have to tell some lies to their family members and like hiding their ferry tickets or some evidence. So it is kind of the evidence that we are going to say it is kind of addiction already.
Yes. Because you feel shame for it already. You know there's something wrong, but you
Yes.
can't tell anyone.
Especially for women as well, like the empty nest syndrome, and they become more lonely and feeling isolated.
Yes.
And at that time, some women would like to go to casino, like Ruby said, and they would like to cover up their depressed and lonely feeling,
Yes.
and by using gamble like a tool to cope with this different kind of difficulties or some unhappiness.
But that's the problem with a lot of these vices, not just gambling, but smoking, drinking, everything else, is they think this is the way to cope with their problems, but it makes it worse.
Yeah.
It doesn't
They think
solve
it's a
it.
solution of the problem.
Yes.
Actually, they create more problems
Exactly.
after that. For example, financial problems.
Big time.
Yeah, like my cases, she just stole money from her children, or even sell the gold jewelries, or searching everywhere at home in order to get some money to fund for her addictions.
Because she still thinks, she's hoping she's going to win it back. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And also the stereotype of women as well, because in Hong Kong or in Chinese society, we think like women have a role, like a homemaker role.
Yes.
And they feel like very shame after gamble and having debts or some problems coming up, like financial crisis. So they would like to hiding up. And so the seeking rate is not that much in for women. Yes.
So you're saying that women tend to be more ashamed of this problem than men.
I think so.
But then
yes.
the women come out to seek help more than men, though.
If they have the problem of financial crisis, yes, maybe. But
Okay.
it's difficult for them to continuously to come to our counseling sessions because they have lots to do, like keeping home, like staying home, take care of husband and families
Right.
and stuff like that. So they would like to show up like 1 or 2 times and they disappear. That's what
Why
that's
is the
shame.
counseling a course? Like you have to come and dedicate yourself to a certain amount of time commitment?
Yeah, actually the treatment plan is like 6 to 8 sections at least.
Okay.
And then we have some group session as well, so they have to show up quite frequently. And addiction is not a short-term thing.
No, because it took a long time to
Yes.
get there.
Right. So it's quite difficult for the middle-aged women. They can spend some time to come up to the counseling sessions and would like face their problems.
Right. Well, let's take one quick break and come back. And I'm curious to know what you do at these counseling sessions to help guide these people to try to get away from this gambling addiction. It's quite interesting, but it's quite scary that it's so easy. Yeah. All right. We'll come back after a quick break. Okay, back in the studio here with gambling counselors Jenny and Ruby. I'm delighted to know that there is a gambling center for counseling here in Hong Kong, because gambling is such a, it's actually a very huge problem with people, but people don't tend to discuss this. Yes, but particularly with Chinese families. No one's going to say, oh yeah, my dad's a gambler, or my wife, I don't know what she does with her money. So what is that process of cleansing them, if you will, of their addiction? What do you do?
We probably would start, we have something information talk or education. We start at that. And then we promote what is gambling addiction, and we have some criteria we based on DSM-4 and also another tool called SOGS. SOGS is kind of like we have to assess whether they are in problem gambling or even go to pathological gambling.
Okay.
Yeah, as you say, it's like a deep dark secret of the family.
Yes.
If you have a gambler at home, so they rather not to talk about that. But actually, it's really important to talk to someone so that you know their services available in Hong Kong. So we will approach them. We receive the hotline and give them some tips how to help the family members if they show symptoms of problem gambling.
So spouses or family members can come to you without their partners to seek help.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
do that. And we open like maybe 40 cases each year to help family members. Even though their partner might not willing to come
Yes.
to our center, they might say, no, I don't have the problems.
Yes, that's usually the problem, right?
Yeah, but that definitely is a problem. So it's affecting the whole family. They don't want to spend time to do family activities, not having spare money. They might need to sell their houses or even affect their work.
Of course.
Yeah, some of our clients even like some occasionally they steal money from work, so they might face some legal charges. So we really need to take this problem seriously.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed is there's no background. Like you can't associate certain types of income bracket or what career professions you're in. It can happen to anyone. You can't tell by their look. Yes, there's no look of a gambler.
No.
You're talking about the empty nest syndrome with these mothers. Who would guess that these mothers who've just sent their kids off to college are addicted gamblers? I even know in university I have a couple of professors who were gamblers and they didn't admit it.
Really?
And it was really, really destructive. So and there's also a lot of vices that are always associated with the gambling. Yes, it's not just gambling itself. You go there. Who doesn't smoke or drink along? Are there other situations like that where they tie in all the other bad addictions with gambling?
Right. We have like multi-addiction with like what you said, smoking,
Yes.
alcohol problems, or even substance abuse.
Yes.
But mainly, I can see in my clinical experience is the smoking to go together with gambling, because when you smoke, you have the side effects that you can calm down yourself and you can wake yourself up. In Macau, you can see a lot.
Yes,
they
you
hang
can stay up
around
all
without
night.
sleeping for 24 hours.
They look like zombies. Yeah. They don't
right.
eat. They don't sleep.
Yeah, they even just sit here for whole day, one whole day and night.
Yeah.
So they keep on smoking. This is one of the multi-addicted behavior as well.
Yeah.
One of my clients stay there 7 days, 6 nights. Yeah, gambling non-stop.
Day,
and,
night, like that.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
much money did they lose?
Wow. That's a lot, maybe 100,000. So they borrow money from the banks and they try, and even the loan sharks offer them money.
Oh no, see that's dangerous when you get involved with the triad
Exactly.
gangsters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's quite common. Yes.
Quite common.
Yeah.
Especially when they seek help,
Yes.
because they have financial crisis. This is always the most motivated thing for them to come up when
Yeah.
they see us.
In the Hong Kong films, they make fun of it all the time. They're always,
Right.
the gangsters coming after them because they owed money from gambling. But it's so real. Yes.
It's all real cases.
Do you see an increase of gambling addictors, or any situations with different types of background? Like you say, women. I was shocked to hear that middle-aged women, so many are gamblers. Are there other categories of people that you see that there's a danger in them falling into this addiction?
Yeah, I think like teenagers, because the football. They more familiar with football, this game, but
Yes.
they finally use this game for betting, so it's completely different thing. And
Yeah.
now we would like to follow like Macau, Singapore, to push up the age to go into jockey club. 21 years old, but still.
What is it? 18 now?
It's 18.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have the statistics about we start gamble in very early age, like 13 to 16. So it may be a good thing for them to push up to 21. It's delay their onset or make them more mature. When they have ability to earn some money to start working, I think it's a lot better if they start in school age. Because I've got a case. He's like 20 years old, a university student. But in first year, he lost everything. He even owned like 4 different banks and financial centers or family debts. So he stopped and he quit university.
So you can ruin your life.
Right. It's I think it's quite a shame thing because of gamble.
Well, if you had one tip to suggest to people who have friends or themselves have a tendency to gamble, what would it be? How can you stop or prevent yourself from being addicted?
Well, I will say you need to set your limit.
Okay.
So before you go to Macau, you set a limit. Let's say you bring 1,000 Hong Kong dollars there, and you lose it. Just forget about it. Just entertainment fee.
Yes.
And have a clear understanding that because casino open, they want to win money. They're not here for you to make a big win. So the chance is quite slim. So they need to be clear about that.
Okay, that's a good one.
And also develop different kind of entertainment, because they always think that like going to Macau, there's lots of fun, like nice hotel, nice restaurants. But actually, we have different kind of sports or hanging out with friends,
doing some healthy things that don't even cost money.
Yeah, that's another
nice
thing.
tip. So if people do have problems, how can they seek help?
Well, I will recommend them to try to call us. The gambling hotline is 183-4633. I repeat, it's 183-4633.
Is there a website?
Yep, we do.
Actually, you can just type Characters Gambling Center.
Okay.
I mean, we have a very equipped website with different kind of stories.
Good.
Like gamblers or for their families as well.
Yes.
And also different kind of assessment tools.
Good.
And some games as well. Yes. So it's easy to assess and easy to have to have a search and see whether you get a problem in gambling.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad you both came today to bring awareness of the gambling situation in Hong Kong. So we hope that we can try to limit this with the people in Hong Kong. Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.